Okay, well, this is Jonathan Dupree, and this is Real Estate 101. Welcome this evening. Please make sure that you mute your microphone by clicking the microphone button right there by your screen. If you want to see the screen bigger, up at the top of your screen, you'll see a button that says Screen Zoom. You can click that, and it'll bring up the screens bigger. I don't have any slides tonight, so you're okay. Just if you want to see what's up on the screen, you can make it bigger. Again, this is Jonathan Dupree, and this is Real Estate 101. If you're just joining us again, don't forget to mute your microphone. And yes, Wyatt, that was music. Hopefully you're hearing the music. I like to play a little bit of music before I teach. Makes it feel like like you're at a real event, right? I mean, this is we're avatars here, yet I want to make this experience as real as possible for you. If you're a guest this evening and someone invited you, welcome to Real Estate 101 this evening. I'm really excited that you're here, that you decided to come join us, and someone thought enough of you that they invited you here this evening. I've been teaching this class for over a year, every single Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I started because I had my own brokerage here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We had about 130 agents, and when we rolled into EXP, I wanted to get our agents acclimated as quickly as possible to EXP World. So I just said, hey guys, we're going to start meeting on Sunday night. We're already doing something called Real Estate 101. And I said, let's just keep doing this class and we'll meet in EXP World instead of our office on Sunday nights like we've been doing. And we're going to talk about the fundamentals of growing your real estate business. And it just kind of blossomed and turned, one thing turned into another, and the class really took off. And then I've just been teaching it ever since. There was no intention for me to do that back when I started this class. So it's been fun teaching. I just enjoy it. I love sharing. And so hopefully if you've attended this class more than once, you've got some good value from it and you've learned some stuff. And very glad that you're here. I posted in the chat box 2 links. One is a project I'm working on called Real Estate Mastery School. .com, and there's going to be a lot of content on there, some free, some paid. It's a mixture of stuff, multiple instructors, not just me. So if you want to bookmark that and see what I'm doing. Also in the links I just shared one more set of links to a Google document, and you can see that up on the screen. That's going to give you a link to my Facebook page so that you can go there and like that page. I can't accept any more friends on Facebook because they have a limit of friends that you can accept. And but however, you can follow me on my personal profile, and then you can like my main page if you'd like to stay in the loop. And then I've got a couple really good groups, Real Estate 101, which is where we have agents from multiple companies and we talk about fundamentals to grow your real estate business. You can join that group. There's a new group I just launched called Real Estate Mastery School on Facebook, and there's also a new group that I'm really excited about called YouTube Secrets for Real Estate Agents. So if you have dabbled with the idea of creating real estate videos to grow your real estate business and generate leads, then that's a good group for you to join as well. And here's why. I'll share with you in a nutshell why you want to join that group. YouTube is the second largest search engine on the internet outside of Google. You think of Google, it's a verb now, right? Kids will say, hey, let's Google that. Just Google it. And it doesn't matter whether you're using Bing or Yahoo or to them, it's Google. Just like when someone says, let's go get a Coke, and they might want a Sprite or a Dr. Pepper. They don't call it soda anymore. They call it a Coke. And that's what's happened with Google. And Google's the largest search engine. Google owns YouTube. YouTube, even though it's videos, it is a search engine, and search is at the heart of it. And there's over 1 billion hours of video being watched every single day. And people are searching for content about real estate. And if they're not watching your content, they're watching someone else's, your competitors. And so you want to be on YouTube and have a channel and making videos, and it's not hard and you don't need any equipment. You can start with just your cell phone and you can start making videos. You don't have to be a professional video person. You don't have to be a professional presenter. The more authentic you are, the better your videos are. And basically, you want to become the Google in your market. You want to become the Google for your clients, your your prospects, your potential clients, people in your market, so that when they think of real estate, they want to ask you, hey, what should I do to my house to update it? What should I do? Who's a good landscaper? Who's a good roofer? Do you know a pool company that can help me? If I did this improvement on my home, would it increase my value, or would it stay the same, or would it decrease? What's happening in my market in terms of the real estate? Is it growing? Is it declining? Is it flat? These are questions that you want them thinking of you and asking you, like they would go to Google, they come to you. And YouTube allows you to think of the most popular questions people are thinking about and searching on the internet, and for you to be able to create great videos to deliver content to them. And so I just wanted to share that. And that group is all about just YouTube, what types of equipment, types of videos to make, why you want to be on there, all kind of stuff. And so it's a good group on Facebook. So all those links are in that Google link that is in the chat box. And if you just got in here, I'll post it one more time, because I know sometimes it tends to disappear if you're not in here right when I post it. So I just posted it there. Also, tonight I'm going to help you in the first part create a simple business plan. And then the second part, I'm going to do open questions. And so if you have a question, now this is not the time when I say open questions, I want to preference it on the front end. It's not the time for you to say, I have this transaction that's happening and this is a contract question. That's for your state broker, because every state is different. The laws are different. The contracts are different. So if you go, well, I have this particular house and I just can't seem to sell it, there's so many things and factors that go into that I'd really have to know more about that situation. But if you have a specific question in the terms of fundamentals to grow your real estate business, what is the best thing for me to do to start getting in front of more people so that I can generate more leads, so that I can have some listings and buyers and have some closings? Questions like that. I was in this scenario and this happened. What should I have done? What do you say in this kind of scenario when someone calling it for sale by owner? Like questions like that. So think of your questions that you have, start jotting them down, and on the back end, then I'm going to answer those. This is probably going to be one of my last nights to teach for a while. I'm going to have some special guests over the next week, 2 weeks lined up for you guys here in Real Estate 101. And then I'm kind of taking a little break and working on some projects. And so I probably won't be facilitating Real Estate 101 for a while, and then kind of pull back the reins on the teaching that I'm doing right now to work on these other projects. So I wanted to tell you on the front end that, and let you know I greatly appreciate you attending my sessions and my classes, and I hope that you continue to follow me. So if you'd like to know what's going on in my world and know about upcoming classes that I am teaching, because I still teach multiple classes every single week. If you want to know about those or masterminds and that kind of stuff, then you can absolutely please click on my Facebook page, follow me, click on the Facebook groups and follow me there as well. So let's talk a little bit about building a business plan and why this is important. I really believe most people don't plan to fail. They don't start out their business and say, I hope I fail at this. I hope that I just really struggle. But what they do is they fail to create some type of plan to grow their real estate business, and they struggle as a result of that. They try everything under the sun. They just throw some stuff up against the wall and hope some of it sticks, but they never have a solid plan. And when you have a plan, at least you have clarity to what you need to do and the direction that you need to go. Today, I spent Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to everyone out there that's a dad. I spent Father's Day with my family, and we drove to New Orleans, and we went downtown, and they were doing some construction. And when we were leaving, I missed a turn, and I'm in the heart of New Orleans, and I don't really know exactly where I'm at to get back to the interstate. And my son pulls up on the GPS. He pulls up Waze, and he puts in our house, and it is redirecting me back to the interstate. And had I not had that, I would have just been guessing. I'd have been lost. I didn't know where we were, but I could clearly look and go, here's where I am. Here's where I want to be. Here's the route that I need to take, the best possible route to get me from where I am to where I want to be. And a business plan is kind of like you having this GPS that's giving you a route to take, and then you should be able to go from where you are to where you want to be. Let me just type, yes, you should be able to here, leave and come back. Sorry, I just wanted to let that person know. It seems like they can't hear me. So you need to know, first of all, when you're creating your business plan, you need to have an objective reality of where you currently are in your business. So you have to have a starting point. You have to go, here's where I am. And then you have to know the destination. Here's where I want to be. You know, I want to close 12 transactions my first year in real estate, or I want to close 36 transactions at the average sales price of $200,000 by December 31st, 2019. That's a very specific goal. It's measurable. You can put an action plan behind it. It's realistic. There's time on it, a date on it. It's time bound. That's a SMART goal. I'm sure you've heard of SMART goals. Now, this isn't about setting goals. It's about creating a business plan, but you need to know where you're wanting to go. And in your real estate business, it's really going to come down to GCI. That's gross commission income. Net income, how much you want to put in your pocket, and what drives all of that is transactions. And there's no slides on the screen, so guys, don't worry. Tonight you're just listening to me. That's all that you're doing. And so those are your main things that you want to know. What is my gross commission income goal? What's my net income goal? What is my transaction goal so that I can get there? And then you break that down to figure out how many listings do I need to take, where are those listings going to come from, how many buyer sides do I need to have, where are those buyers going to come from, and then you create some strategies and action plans, and we're going to talk about that. So I want you to write down the first part of your plan, and that's your vision. Write down the word vision. Just write it down. Vision. Now, when you think about your vision, it is the source of all hope in life. I mean, it's the best gift ever given to mankind is the gift of vision, to see what the future could look like for you, what you envision it to be in your mind. And maybe you've heard the verse where there's no vision, the people perish. And what I really believe about that is when you don't have a vision for your business, it's like you don't have any hope to move forward. I was meeting with someone in this week, New York Times bestseller. He's written multiple best-selling books. And he said, I had this project, Better Off Broke. And he said, no one really gets it because, but what the point of it is if you don't have a vision for your life, you're better off broke. I mean, like if you just don't have a plan, if you don't have a vision, if you can't see where you're going, then you're just better off broke because you're not going to want to get out of bed in the morning. You're not going to want to move towards something. And so you've got to have a vision. It is the key to unlock the gates of what was and what is, and it propels you to move forward to what could be and what has not yet been, and it sets you free from the limitations of what you can see right now, and it allows you to enter this liberty of what the heart can feel. I hope that makes sense. It's the vision that makes the unseen visible. When I launched my own brokerage, I had this vision and I could explain it to people. And when we started, we had 14 agents. And I'll never forget someone saying to me, you'll be lucky if your mom and your sister come with you. And if they do, that's all that'll ever come. And we launched our company. We had 14 agents that joined us. We had no office. We had no websites. We had no CRM. We had no tools at all. We didn't even have a logo done yet. We didn't have signs. I mean, we started with a vision. And it was to build the largest independent real estate brokerage in the state of Louisiana that served agents and served people at a high level. Now, at the end of the day, before we decided to move in a different direction, well, guess what we had done? We had built the largest independent real estate brokerage in the state of Louisiana. No other independent brokerage was even close to us. We were fourth in market share. We had 130 agents, and we were fourth in market share of closed volume out of about 800 companies. And what drove everything was continuing to cast the vision, because vision, it generates hope. It helps you to persevere during difficult times. Raise your hand if you've been in real estate and it's been a struggle, like the struggle's been real for you. Is anyone in here like that? You're waiting on a closing, you desperately need that check, and then you find out it gets pushed back a week, and you're trying not to panic. You really need that check. You got to pay some bills. You've been stroking lots of checks in the beginning to get your license, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need this deal to close. How's this happening? Or you have buyers that you work with, and this just happened to my son, and then they walk into an open house and they just write up a house with the agent there, and you're like, God, how do I just keep going through some of these challenges and persevere? And maybe it's outside of the real estate world, yet you can't bring that stuff with you when you're at meeting with a client. You're working with a client and you've got bills stacking up, or you've got relationship challenges, or you've got health challenges, or whatever it is, and you've got to persevere. You've got to navigate through the obstacles and figure out, how do I go over them or around them or through them? And what vision does is it helps you to just keep your head down, plowing forward while you are just building. And so it's so important for you to have a vision of where you're going. Vision says, this is what I'm building. This is what's happening in my world. This is the business I'm building. This is what it's going to look like a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You could close your eyes and you could see yourself at a conference and people coming up to you and talking to you and asking you questions about your business because it's so successful and you're doing so well. What does it look like? What does it feel like? You've got to have a vision, because if you don't, you're going to struggle. You're going to stay frustrated. You're not going to stay disciplined or committed. You're just going to struggle. So you've got to have a vision for your business. I want to tell you a quick little story about vision, and I'll move to the second part of your business plan. And I think this is a really powerful story. I was reading it in a book a while back, and it talks about how in the mid-20th century in Bangkok in Thailand, the government wanted to build this large highway, and it ran through this village. This is a true story. And in the path of the planned road was this Buddhist monastery, and they had a little chapel, and they needed to relocate the monastery, and they had this heavy 11-foot clay statue of Buddha. And they needed to move it to this other place, and they brought in this crane, and workers started to move the monastery in sections. And then when the workers started to transport the statue of Buddha to the new location, they were lowering it into place. The clay on the statue started to crumble and fall off. And the people were really afraid, because this was like a really precious symbol to them, and they didn't want it to be destroyed. Yet the workers tried to place the statue. The more it started to kind of fall apart, and they started to look at it, and they realized underneath the clay there was gold, and the statue happened to be solid gold. Before the statue was moved, people thought it was worth maybe $50,000. And today, that golden Buddha is worth millions. And because of the story behind it and how neat it is, it's visited by hundreds of thousands of people every single year. And you go, well, why are you telling us that story? Because I think that this story really illustrates that what we can see is not necessarily what really is. Many of us are living kind of as these clay vessels, when in reality, we're pure gold inside. And our lives don't reflect who we truly are or what we can be. You know, our lives don't reflect what our business could look like. I call this having a perceptual transformation, where you begin to see yourself and your business as it could be, as you could be, versus how it is or how you are right now, currently. I call it stepping into your greatness, and vision helps you step into your greatness. You've got to have a vision for your business. I'm building this real estate business that does X amount of transactions a year, that grosses me X amount of money, that nets me X amount of money so that I can do X, whatever that is. Pour back into your community. Take your family on great vacations. Get out of debt and pour into the community financially. Whatever. I don't know what your vision is. I'm not telling you what it needs to be. I'm just telling you need to have one. So vision says, what am I building? Now, I want you to write down the second word, and it's mission. The second word is mission. And mission is going to answer the question, why is it important to fulfill the vision? Why is it important that we build this business? Here's what I want my business to look like. This is what I'm building. And mission says, this is why it's important for me to do it. You all need to have some type of personal mission statement. You can go online and you can just Google how to write a mission statement, or you can go to Franklin Covey's website and type in how to write a mission statement, Franklin Covey, and it'll pull up a link where you can go in and it helps you to write a mission statement. Now, I'm not going to talk tonight about how to write a mission statement, but you need to have a mission statement for your business. I've written my personal mission statement down every day for years. I don't have to do it anymore, but for years, I wrote it down in my journal every single day. And when I was meeting with this New York Times best-selling author, he asked me, so what's your mission, man? What drives you? And I said, my mission is to master my life, my relationships, and my career to such a degree that I can't help but to empower those around me and attract those who seek the same. That's my mission. You know, if I'm doing that, I'm fulfilling the vision. If I'm constantly working to master my life, meaning be the best version of me. See, mastery is the possession of great knowledge, habits, and skills that make you the master of you. It's all about being the best version of yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other agents and other real estate teams and what people are doing, and focus on being the best version of yourself. And so if I can master my life, and then I want to master relationships, I want to be able to resolve conflict, move people forward, build friendships. I want to have great relationships with people. So if I can master my relationships and then finally master my career, I want to be the very best at what I do, the very best version of myself at what I do, pouring into other people, coaching, teaching, training, writing books, writing courses. I want to be the very best in my career that I can be. And then if I'm doing that, if I'm mastering my life, my relationships, and my career to such a degree, to such a high level that I'm empowering those around me, meaning I'm pouring into them. I'm helping them become better. I'm helping them become the best version of themselves. I'm helping them step into their greatness, find their why, find their vision, create their mission. I'm helping them grow their real estate business, have more transactions, make more money, pay off more debt. If I'm doing that, if I'm empowering those around me, and I'm also attracting those who seek the same, then I'm fulfilling my mission. And the attracting part is really huge because there's a great book, Jack Canfield's Keys to the Law of, oh my gosh, I just went blank. What is the name of that book? It's Jack Canfield's Keys to the Law of Attraction. That's the name of the book. And it's a phenomenal book. It's really small. It's not, thank you so much, Carmelita. It's not a big book at all, but it's really powerful because it talks about attraction. And if you put negative energy out, negative energy is going to come back. If you put positive energy out, positive energy is going to come back. So if you're really, truly pouring into your clients, into your prospects, into other people around you, you're going to naturally continue to attract those types of people who are thankful and full of gratitude for how you help them. And that's what you want. So you've got to create your mission. So your first part of your business plan is this is a one-page business plan. The first part is your vision. What am I building? The second part is your mission. Why is it important that I build this? And then your third part, this is going to be the objectives. So write down the word objectives. And your objectives are, I want you to write down one more thing. KPI. That's key performance indicators. key performance indicators. So your KPIs or your objectives say, what are the things that I must measure that matter in my business? What are the things that I must measure that matter in my business? Because here's the reality. What gets measured gets improved. What gets measured gets improved. And you go, well, what do you mean by that? Well, it's real simple. If I don't know how many phone calls it takes for me to get an appointment, I don't know what kind of changes I need to make. Or if I make lots of phone calls and I have tons of conversations, but from those conversations, I can't set any appointments, and I'm measuring that, I can see that I need to work on scripts and dialogues, because what I'm saying somehow isn't working and I'm not making the connection to convert that conversation to an appointment. Or if I do a great job at setting appointments, I have lots of conversations and I have lots of appointments, but I can't convert those appointments to listings or to buyer agency agreements, then I have an issue closing and I need to figure that out. And if I'm measuring it, it's easy for me to figure it out and make the tweaks or changes or course correct. If I'm not measuring it, then I can't improve. I can't make those changes. So your objectives say, what matters most? What are the numbers that I need to track? What are the things that I need to keep a finger on the pulse of in my business that matter most, that drive business? I'm going to tell you what they are. Are you ready? It's really, really, really simple. Your objectives need to focus on lead generation, like prospecting. And then it needs to focus on appointments. So lead generation, prospecting, appointments, listings taken, buyer agency agreements taken, closings, money. That's it. That's the real objectives you need to keep a finger on the pulse of in your business. So don't overcomplicate it. We are masters at overcomplicating things. So just focus on prospecting, getting leads, getting people to get in front of, and then appointments. How many appointments am I having? How many of those appointments are turning into listings? And how many of them are turning into buyer agency agreements? And then how many of those listings and buyer agency agreements are turning into contracts, pending contracts, executed purchase agreements, turning into closings, and then money. And you want to be very specific with your goals. What are the objectives? I want to make X amount of phone calls a day. I want to have X amount of appointments a day. I need to have X amount of listings I take a week. I need to have X amount of buyer agency agreements I take a week. I need to have X amount of closings a week. You need to figure that out. Well, the way you do is you work backwards. How much money do you want to make in the next 12 months? What's the average commission in your market or in your business? And then you take that to figure out how many transactions you have to have that year to make that much money. And let's just say it's 36 transactions. Well, that's 3 transactions a month. So how many listings do you need to have, and how many buyer agency agreements do you need to have to make sure that you have 3 closings a month? I don't know your numbers, but you need to figure that out. I have a video on YouTube that shows you how to go through this formula. Tonight I don't have time to go through the formula, but it walks you through the formula to figure out, work your numbers backwards. And now you know your key objectives that you need to keep a finger on the pulse of. And then the next part, all right, so we're on the fourth part of your business plan. So it's vision, mission, objectives, strategies. Strategies. You want to come up with just about 3 strategies, no more than that. You can always layer and add things to, but what are the top 3 strategies that are going to help you implement the objectives? So you know that one of your objectives is to have 36 transactions in the next 12 months, which is 3 a month. Then what's a strategy to help you do that? It might be, one strategy is to increase your referral-based business. And when you create that strategy, increase my referral-based business and have 12 transactions a year from referrals. You're going to then come up with the fifth part of your business plan, which is the action plan, where you go, what's an action? What are the 5 action steps I can implement right now so I can begin to implement this in the next 90 days? So divide 12 by 4. And each quarter, just work on, if it's 12, what's that? Someone do the math for me. 3. So in the next 90 days, I have 3 transactions, or it's probably a little bit more than that. And so you break it down. You create your action plan. What am I going to do? I'm going to have a client appreciation party. That's one thing I'm going to do in the next 90 days. I'm going to send a handwritten note card to everybody in my database asking for referrals. I'm going to make X amount of phone calls a day where I specifically let people know that the best compliment I can get are referrals from my friends, and I'm going to ask them for a referral. I'm just giving you some examples. So you want to come up with your strategies. It might be to increase my referral-based business. It might be to work for sell by owners, and then come up with 5 action steps you can implement over the next 90 days to begin to implement your strategy of working for sell by owners. And it can be simple. Learn the scripts and dialogues to work for sell by owners. Create my follow-up campaign for sell by owners. Create the leave behind tools and resources for sell by owners. Start calling X amount of for sale by owners every single day to set appointments to preview. It might be expireds. It might be to do a buyer seminar. It might be to do a first-time home buyer seminar, to do an investor seminar. You want to come up with 3 strategies to increase your business. It could be door knocking. It could be farming. It could be open houses. It could be internet lead generation. And then once you have those 3 strategies to implement the objectives that you created, you then create 5 action steps for each strategy. So you're going to have 15 action steps, 5 for each strategy, and you have 3 strategies. So 5 action steps for each strategy, so that you can start now, not that you can think about now, that you start now. And now you got a business plan to start implementing right now, and you work your butt off for 90 days, and you look up and you go, okay, I'm moving closer to where I want to be. I'm seeing some results show up. But without the vision, it's going to be difficult to keep up the consistency of working your butt off for 90 days without the vision. Because when it gets hard, when it gets tough, when you don't feel like doing it again, when you don't feel like making one more call, or seeing one more person, or doing one more appointment, your vision is what's going to keep you moving forward. That's why it's so important to take time and really go, what do I want out of this business? What do I want my business to look like a year from now? 90 days from now? 6 months from now? Do it that way. A year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What am I going to be doing? Who am I going to be helping? How is my community going to be different as a result of me implementing this vision? Is it big enough? What would it look like if I thought without limits? If I removed the ceilings that I place on myself, what would my business look like? And that's how you create a 1-page business plan. It's your vision, your mission, your objectives, your strategies, and your action plans. Really, really, really simple. I've got this tool called Bend the Curve. You can find it in the workplace group, Real Estate 101, and go into the file section. It's called Bend the Curve, and it'll help you to even collapse this in a little bit shorter time frame to go, how do I have this quantum leap growth in my business so I really maximize my efficiency. So you might want to go into the file section and check it out. So here's what I want to do. I want to wrap up this evening and take a few minutes and do some Q&A with you guys. I figured Father's Day, we kind of have a light crowd in here. And so this gives us the perfect opportunity. If you want to unmute your mic, just remember after you ask your question, mute your mic back so we don't have any feedback. When I talk, I won't hear myself coming back out of your computer. And then if you want to expand on that question, just unmute again and keep talking, and then mute when I'm talking. So who wants to go first? Who's got a question? Any question that you want to talk about tonight? It doesn't have to be what I covered. That's but it has to be about the fundamentals of growing your real estate business, not a broker question, not a contract question. So that book, Gary, was called Jack Canfield's Keys to the Law of Attraction. Jack Canfield's Keys to the Law of Attraction. And let's see, I might even be able to pull it up here on the screen so you guys can see what it looks like. Oh, yes, his key to living the law of attraction. So this is what it looks like right here. I don't know if that's on the screen or not. Yeah, over there on the far, I guess you guys, your left, you'll see that's the book. And it's really powerful. It's a slim little book. You can read it in a setting. It's awesome. Am I going to be here in Real Estate 101? I will not be here next Sunday evening. I'll be out of town. I'll have a guest speaking for us. And you can ask your question or type your question. I'm just going to hang out here for a few minutes and see if we have questions coming in. And if we do, I'll be more than happy to answer them. And I want to share these notes one more time with you. And I hear some questions, so just give me 1 second. I can't see the chat right at this moment. Biggest obstacles getting your first sale. I have my sphere, but nothing yet. First thing I'd say, Kevin, how long have you been in real estate? And how do you keep momentum with buyers who have seen over 20 homes and you've not selected one yet? Linda, my first question would be, have you done a buyer consultation with them? Because if you've shown them over 20 homes, it would just make me, the reason I would jump to that is maybe there's a challenge in the buyer consultation, because you should be able to show the expectations that I'm going to pull 8 to 10 homes that are going to be a great fit for you. And we're going to find what I call the perfect home. I'm going to make a recommendation that we write up that home. Does that make sense? And they're going to say yes. And then what you're going to do is use this tool. If you go to YouTube and type in my name and type in buyer consultation, there's a video there. And I role played one here in Real Estate 101, and in the file section in the Facebook group, if you go to, it's in the link that I just posted, there's a link to my Facebook group, Real Estate 101. And if you go to that file section, there's a tool, I think, in there called the 3 must-haves. And it's where you ask them, what are the 3 things your home must have? And then they tell you. And then you say, okay, well, what's one more thing that would just make it great? And they tell you that. And you go, what's one more thing that would just make it awesome? They tell you that. What's one more that just put it over the top? So they're really giving you 6 things. And you're writing that down on a sheet of paper. And then you say, when I find a home and it's got these 3 must-haves, plus it has maybe 1 or 2 of the other like over-the-top items, I'm going to make a recommendation that we write up that home, because I don't want you to miss it. And we start the process all over. And then they go, you find the home and you make a recommendation, and they say, well, I'm not really ready yet. And you pull that sheet out and you go, well, help me understand. This has all these 3 things you said it had to have. And on top of that, it even has the outdoor kitchen, and it's got the swimming pool that you said would just put it over the top. Why are we not writing this home up? And so that would tell me, if you're in the buyer consultation, you can really set those expectations. You may be doing that. I don't know. But if you're having a struggle there and you did do a buyer consultation, I would regroup with them and say, guys, we've seen 20 homes. We're not making any progress. Help me understand what I'm missing in the homes that I'm pulling. What do we have to do to help you to move forward? And then I just saw Kevin say, not long, 30 days. You don't have time on your side, man. You've got to, you in this business. So my son is 19. He just completed his full first year in real estate in June. He had 12 transactions. His first full, or 14 transactions. I'm sorry, 14. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. 14 full transactions his first year in real estate. But it took him, I'd say, it's going to take you 90 days. And he got licensed in June, and his first closing happened in September. So June, July, August. It really took him almost 120 days, because his first closing happened right towards the middle of September. So I would tell you, go to Starbucks, put on a name badge, get on your phone, call people in your sphere, talk louder than you normally would, build new relationships at Starbucks, talk to people, or Barnes & Noble, I don't care what coffee shop or place where there are people. Get out and about, join any kind of networking group that you can get in, join your chamber of commerce. Don't be a secret agent. Scream from the rooftop that you have your real estate license and people now have a friend in the business. And if they're not your friend, go, I'm looking to build new friendships. And that's what I told my son. And he got out, and everything he got from getting out and meeting people and hustling. I do an open house every single Sunday. I would do an open house to generate leads. If I don't have enough leads coming in to meet or exceed my goals, then I've got a lead generation problem, and I need to fix it before I fix anything else. I'd master my scripts and dialogues. That's one of the best things. When you're new in the business and you don't know what to say or how to say it, scripts and dialogue are the best thing to start with. And I'm going to post a link here in the chat box. So I wrote a script book. You don't have to get this, but I'm just putting it in there. And I did an audio training too. And then normally I have them sell them separate. And I just did a deal last week where I put them as a discounted package together, where if you buy the script book, you get the audio training for free. And they're all digital downloads, so you have access to it right away. But you can go there and look for when you're on that website, just look for the script book. And it's called Scripts and Tips. And then there's an audio training package with it. It talks about embedded commands and tie downs. And it teaches you what to say to your sphere, to prospects you just randomly meet when you're out and about at the coffee shop or wherever, when you're doing open houses, when you're calling for sale by owners, expireds, all the above. So it's prospecting, lead follow-up, what to do on appointments, and then how to navigate through objections. And then the whole back of it is just random tips to help you grow your business. So hopefully that answers your question. But Kevin, the main thing is time. It's going to take a time, and you got to do activity, massive activity every single day. And that's really difficult to do when the results aren't showing up right away. And you think, wow, I've been doing this for 45 days and nothing's showing up. And that's what my son did. He's like, I don't know what to do today, Dad. I said, you do the same thing you did yesterday and the day before that and the day before that, unless that was nothing. If it was nothing, you better do something, because nothing ain't going to work. And if it was make 2 phone calls, you better make 20 more, because 2 phone calls ain't going to work. And you got to keep doing that every day, knowing that the check isn't going to show up till 90 to 120 days. Now he probably has about 3 closings a month. He's 19 years old, but he just works. He just talks to lots of people. Yes, the keys, Gary, the law of attraction absolutely works to agent attraction. It's basically a universal law. What you put out is what comes back. What you focus on expands. If you go like, agents aren't going to want to talk to me, I hadn't been in the business long, then that's what you're putting out, and agents aren't going to want to talk to you. Or agents aren't going to want to talk to me because they probably have already heard about EXP, or what you put out is what comes back. And so, yeah, those principles in the book would absolutely apply to agent attraction book. That book, the principles in it would absolutely apply to agent attraction. It apply to growing your real estate business. It'll apply to every area in your life. It'll help make your life better. I was in the airport this week flying back, and in my suitcase, I had that book, and the guy, TSA guy, had to go through my suitcase. And when he opened it up, he pulled out the book and he said, "Does this stuff really work?" And I said, absolutely, man. It really works. It really does. Because while I was going through this thing and I put my hands up above my head, I was like, I know this guy is going to just go through my suitcase too and slow me down. And here you are, and you did it. So, yeah, it works. And he kind of laughed and threw it back in and zipped my suitcase up and gave it to me. Does social media generate solid leads? Anything generates solid leads depending on how you work it. So I'll tell you an interesting story. If you go to my Facebook page, you got to go to the real estate group, Real Estate 101. I just posted the link to a Google Documents in the chat box. Click that link, click on the Facebook group that says Real Estate 101 and go to the file section. So you can I could take two agents and I could give them each a set of leads, the same set of leads. Like I could duplicate them. And I could say, go contact these leads. And they each go in different rooms. And one's going to come out and go, these leads are horrible. They're no good. Nobody wants to talk to me. These aren't solid leads. And the other could come out and go, man, I had great conversations. I set 4 appointments. These are awesome leads. So it's really hard to answer a question that does social media generate solid leads? Absolutely. Dependent upon how you work social media and what you're trying to do and what you say. Again, scripts are really important in social media. What you say in your posts, how you say them, what you're trying to do, what's the goal? Are you running ads? Are you not running ads? Are you just making posts? Are you building a business page and you're building an audience and you're doing it in a way where you're getting them to engage with you? Again, back to becoming the Google for the people in your world so that they're coming to you to ask their real estate questions. So yes, social media is a fantastic tool for you to use, and you just need to learn how to maximize it. There's a great book again, and it is called. Let me pull it up on the page again. Give me 1 second. It should be pulling up on the screen all the way over to the left. And I want to make sure I give you the correct title. It's called 500 Social Media Marketing Tips. I'm reading this book right now, and it is a fantastic book. I mean, it's awesome. And it just is broken down by social media platforms. And here, I'll post the link here in the chat box. Every one of you should click that link and order that book if you don't have it. It is phenomenal. And he also, in the back of his book, you can pay $7 a one-time fee of $7 and get access to all these resources that he has. There's a social media posting calendar. There's all the sizes for your graphics for your social media pages, depending on if it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, to create your header and your. I mean, it is phenomenal. It's got all kind of ideas on generating leads and marketing your business in real estate. So advice on how to make open houses less awkward. Well, I didn't know they were awkward, so I'd have to know how they're awkward for you. If you mean when people are coming in, have fun, smile. Again, what you put out comes back. Have positive energy. People come in and just say, hey, welcome to the open house. Homeowners have asked for everyone to come in to sign in. So if you guys wouldn't mind signing in before you take a look around. And what brought you here today? You guys looking to buy a home, or are you looking to sell a home, or are y'all just kind of out and about looking? Again, scripts and dialogue are important there. So if you're not great at small talk, I don't think you have to have a lot of small talk. I think you just need to welcome them, ask them a handful of questions. In my script book, I actually have an entire section on open houses, and I give you exactly what to say and the questions to ask. And you don't ask all of them, just a couple of them, and it moves you through a process with them. And then you just let them look through the house. And it's Brent Gove also has some great resources on open houses. He does so many open houses every week. He's got a team of like 16 agents on his real estate team. But every week they're doing multiple open houses, and it's one of the biggest lead generation sources for him. So you might reach out to him on Workplace too and ask him to point you in the right direction for that. Booth at a home show is good, but I would tell you if you already have a lot of closings coming in, find where you're really growing at and maximize that area. If you go, I don't have a lot of stuff, and you're not doing open houses, and you're not calling for sale by owners, and you're not calling your sphere of influence daily, start there before you go to a trade show, and then do the trade show. I'm not telling you if it doesn't cost a lot of money, go do it, but you're really going to have to work hard at figuring out how to cultivate the leads there. And then you want to create a solid follow-up plan afterwards. Come up with some kind of cool giveaway. Have your iPad or computer on the table, a way for them to easily opt into a campaign and provide some value in that campaign. Not just the home search, but if it's a home show, maybe you have this great list of resources that if they put in their name and their email, they get this great list of resources of home providers, fencers, landscapers, roofers, pool people, all kind of stuff like that. And then go to your top vendors and ask if they'll give discounts to prospects that come through. And so then you can also say, in some of these vendors on the list, they even have some special discounts just for you guys who came through to the show, but you have to use the email and bring it to them to get that discount. So I would really get a plan. And yeah, Homekeeper app is a great app to use that you get for free as an EXP agent. Any other questions that you guys have that we've got about 5 or 6 minutes?
Hi, Jonathan.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. My question is, after we stop having Real Estate 101 on Sunday evening, will the Patreon resources be still be available?
Oh yeah. There's no. So first of all, I'm not stopping Real Estate 101. I'm just taking a break from teaching for a while, and but those classes are still going to be on Patreon, and I have all my classes. Like I've lined up multiple interviews that I'm about to load on Patreon. Almost everything I'm going to be teaching from future moving forward is actually going to be on Patreon. So to be honest with you, you're going to get a whole lot more than just the Real Estate 101 recordings from now on Patreon. And if those of you guys who aren't here, that's where I post recordings of Real Estate 101, and I'll post the link here. But I will be teaching weekly on Patreon now. And there'll be some live streams on Patreon. There'll be agent interviews. There'll be recordings of my classes. So hope that answers your question. You'll actually find lots of additional new resources becoming available on Patreon. Hopefully you've already seen them. I just uploaded last week, Becoming an Agent of Influence. That was a course that was a paid course that's free and available on Patreon. I'm uploading a discourse on there. There's multiple things I'm in the process of uploading, and then there'll be live streams, agent interviews, and other classes that I'm teaching weekly on Patreon.
Thank you so much.
You bet. And yes, Janet, I absolutely will be sending out email updates. Any other questions? We've got time for one more.
Do we have to purchase zip forms?
I have no idea. I don't even know what zip forms is.
Where's Patreon?
I just posted the link in the chat box, and if sounds like you maybe are on the mobile app, it's patreon.com/Coach Dupree. And you can if you go to my Facebook page, just type in Jonathan Dupree and you'll find me. I'll post it there as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And someone says Zip Forms is provided by their MLS. So if you're in the Metro Texas area, MLS and DFW, then Zip Forms is provided. And someone else says Zip Forms is included as a member of NAR.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Blown away how awesome this class was tonight. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the class, and I appreciate that.
Hey, John, I'm actually on my mobile, so I can't see a lot of the links. Is it possible you could post this into the events or the calendar of this class so I can check a little bit later?
Yeah, I don't unfortunately have the ability to post this into the calendar at all. But what I will do is, are you in the Real Estate 101 workplace group?
Yep.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm doing it right now so I don't forget. I'm going to go into the group, and it's going to be the first post there. I'm going to post the link. It's going to be one link to a Google document, and then it will have all the links there for you.
Does that include the audio documents that we can purchase too that you were mentioning?
I'm not sure which audio. Oh, you're talking about the script book? Yes, it'll have a link. It says Real Estate Mastery School, and that website's just realestatemastoryschool.com, but it's also in this Google document.
Thanks, man, and happy
You're very
Father's Day.
welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Any other? We'll do one more because these were quick ones to answer. Okay, well, listen, thank you guys so much. I just posted these links for you in Real Estate 101 and Workplace, but make sure you don't confuse the two. I also have a Real Estate 101 group on Facebook. Make sure you join those. I put my top 3 Facebook groups in the links that I've just posted in Real Estate 101. So there they are. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Have an awesome day. And to all the dads, happy Father's Day. You guys have an awesome, awesome rest of your Father's Day.
You too, Jonathan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.